I feel short.
So welcome to Sweenies Creek Farm, or what will be Sweenies Creek Farm. So house will be going down there, market garden on the other side, fruit trees. There's already cows and chickens out here, but that's going to get bigger and better. So we thought we'd just take you for a walk around and show you where everything is and where it's going to go.
So as you can see, it's a little bit overcast. We're actually filming this in July. We've actually owned the property for 3 years actually, and we haven't done a great deal. We've done some improvements and some cleanup. It used to be a rather large cattle farm, as someone drives past. And it was broken up into 4 small lots. Ours is 20 acres, and we have Murray grey cows. We had started with 3 and a calf, and we're coming up on our 3rd season. Fingers crossed all 3 of our girls are now pregnant. We've got 2 bulls at the moment, and we have a little heifer calf and 2 steers as well. And the steers we're just fattening up and obviously sell them on or put them in the freezer. I'm not sure what I can do. So and we have around 14 chickens at the moment. Yeah. Yep. So we'll take you for a bit of a walk, and you'll have to excuse us. We're new to this whole vlogging thing, so yeah, stay tuned. You may wonder why we're called Sweenies Creek. Well, that tree line over there, that is actually Sweenies Creek. So we had a tough time trying to figure out what to name our farm, and it was sitting there all along for 3 years right behind us. So even though the creek doesn't run through it, this property anymore, it used to, so we went with that. So I don't know if you can see in the background, there's our little cows, and our neighbours are building over there as well. Bit of glare, I'll get used to this. So yeah, they're just grazing on the front paddock, and the house is actually going over here, so we just want them to graze down the grass before the builders start. So one of the first things we actually did when we arrived was put in this electric fence here. So the developers actually cut them into smaller lots, but the fencing along the sides and the back were really poorly done. The star pickets didn't actually go into the ground very much, and the cows, when it was a little bit drier, they actually pushed on the fence and decided to visit most of our neighbours. So the fence was brand new, so it was in good condition, but it just didn't deter the cows from wanting to see if the grass really was greener on the other side. So we put in this electric fence with the help of our good friends Mick and Kerry. So thank you guys for assisting, because we are very new to this whole farming enterprise. We've come from little town lots of 500 square meters, and now we've got 80,000. So they assisted us, and it has actually kept the animals on the right side of the fence, except for when the kangaroos come in and they jump and they accidentally drag the wire up on to the other fence, so then it actually shortens out. So we've got a little bit of an issue with that, and we'll actually be fixing that and trying to get so it's a little bit tighter. That's further towards our back of the block, which is down that way. So Stephen is just fixing, I think here he comes through the paddock, just fixing the gate down there. We've got 2 paddocks, and it looks like the cows have actually closed the gate on themselves, so half of them are in this side and the rest of them are actually on that side. So and I think they're going to be fed, but there's enough grass here, as you can see by this here. We actually tried some of this ground was very, very bad. It actually had a driveway down the middle of it. So what we did was, when we were having to feed the cattle, we actually put their feeding ring on top of the gravel driveway. And what that did was basically they dug up the ground, but it also, whatever they left behind was shooting. And as you can see, just over here, it's actually come up really, really well. And you can see we also did that just here as well. So that's assisted with the soil because it was pretty bad in sections. There's a lot of farming land around here. This is in central Victoria in Australia, for those who might be watching overseas. I doubt that you will be at the moment. So there's a few trees, unfortunately, that are going to have to come down. This one here is actually really, really diseased, so we don't like chopping down trees, but we are going to do that. So you can see this is the patch that I was talking about. That used to be a really big gravel driveway right through the property. This part of the property, as I said, it was broken up into 4 bits. This part of the property was actually where most of the infrastructure was. So there were some old cattle yards. There was a shed. The shed's still here. We had to rip down the cattle yards only because they were red gum, and they actually had been eaten by termites. We do have termites out here. We had a massive storm go through at one stage and sheared off some of our trees, and I mean sheared them off. They didn't fall over, they basically got snapped in half. So as you can see just here, we've got a really, really big pile of wood that we'll be able to use. As the cows say hello, you might be able to hear in the background a rooster. That's Rocky. We've got Plymouth Rocks and Aracanas at the moment. We've got a few roosters because we just had babies and they've grown up, and unfortunately we have acquired some roosters. So you can see again here we have got where we've just moved the feeding ring from. You can see the feeding ring, whoop, just there. So we keep on moving that and trying to do to improve the soil. The soil is pretty good. You can see most of it here. So it is pretty good. You can see here, this, I'll have some further footage on that later. We're making a bigger run for our chickens. So I will show you that. We've managed to actually do all that on pretty much 100% recycled bits and pieces. So I'll show you that.